walking shtick.
Hello. Can I help you? And by that, I assume you mean the brutal murder of Daniel Fox in our own neighborhood.
Well, yeah.
Well, to be honest, his death caused me to examine certain aspects of my own life. So I immediately went out and bought another shotgun. That said, I think there really is more going on here than meets the eye. I simply don't believe it was a random act of violence.
Did you hear something?
Oh, come now. Are you telling me you're not the least bit curious about how it all transpired? Was he pumped for information? Did he have something they wanted? Oh, perhaps he even owed them money that was borrowed to support some reprehensible drug habit.
You're not coming across as the most compassionate person at the moment.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's quite unfortunate Daniel had to pass in the manner he did.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, can you honestly tell me you're not even the slightest bit curious as to just what went on in that house? I mean, for heaven's sake, why would Daniel, of all people, have need for a gun? Makes you wonder about what else was going on in the Fox house.
Hug? Stop wondering, get back to reality. Hug. Aww. We have all different ways of mourning.
I don't suppose I ever looked at it that way. But in all fairness, you have to admit we are in the midst of a very strange situation here.
We're here to help each other. Ta-da! Okay, you.
Hey there.
There.
I feel just fine. I have to say, I'm a bit distraught.
What in particular?
Just everything, I guess. I mean, Daniel was such a sweet man, and charming, and witty. He was like one of the girls, sort of. We even invited him to poker night. And we don't do that for just anyone, you know. Who would want to do something like that to someone like him?
People like that don't need a reason to do the things they do. It's a shame.
Sometimes, it just seems like there isn't any kind of justice in the world. I don't know what he could have possibly done to his assailants, but he didn't deserve to die over it.
Hug.
Thanks. It's nice to know there's someone that understands what I'm going through. I can see why Bree invited you over. You always know just what to say.
You're more than welcome. Getting all this nonsense out of the way. 3 more.
Hi.
I am a therapist.
Considering what happened to Daniel, it's amazing I'm here at all. Tom had to talk me down from buying a house in one of those godforsaken gated communities.
So blah blah blah.
Bree said we should bring it all out into the open, which is so unlike Bree. She's usually so uptight. To be honest, Tom and I are convinced she doesn't even go to the bathroom. Can you believe something so horrible happened on our street? Okay, let's talk about how foolish we were to think we were safe living in this bubble. I mean, truth is, there's no such thing as being absolutely safe. It's really scary. I have 4 beautiful, albeit annoying, kids.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I'm sorry to dump it all on you like that, but that's how I feel. All mothers develop their own form of acute paranoia. It's instinctual, but now there's a tangible reason for it. What if my boys had snuck out of the house that night? I don't even want to think about it.
Let's talk about something else.
I don't know. With all that's happened to Mary Ellis and then Rex, I'm thinking the street might be cursed or something. At least in a gated community, there's some real sense of security.
A 60-year-old with a flashlight is more than enough defense for any household.
I don't think I'm being unreasonable.
60-year-old security guard. Not even an officer. He can't carry a gun. They just have a flashlight. It's not the kind of thing that's going to happen
I take it you know something I don't.
I'm not at liberty to say.
If that really is the case, and it wasn't a random act of violence, then it certainly puts my mind. Thanks.
2 more. No. No, I will not do something about that. I'm going to go to the bathroom, though. Zoom.
Hey, what's up? What do you mean when you say holding up?
That
There
option.
isn't anything really bothering me about it. I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't believe you.
You know, I get enough people asking me how I feel these days. Do us both a favor and don't add your name to the list.
Why don't you talk and I listen?
Daniel was just a neighbor. People come and go. Usually they just move. This time it was just a little more, exciting than usual.
That one.
Well, I'll say one thing. He was the only person around here with any taste. I'll definitely miss that.
Right.
No offense, of course.
Of course.
Okay, good. It's just that Carlos says that I don't think before I speak. But he can be such an idiot sometimes. But yeah, I'll miss him. And the collection of samples he kept in the basement. I wonder if he left them to me in as well. Without him, I'll never be able to start that clothing line we talked about. I was going to be the face, and he was going to be the brains. Not that I couldn't do it all myself, of course.
We all had a connection. He's a very likable
I had
person.
a friend of mine draw up a business plan, and I took some new pictures for the cover of the catalog.
That's great.
I certainly can't go into business on my own. Where am I going to find another premier fashion designer in this town? Now that he's gone, I have to find something else to do with my spare time. If I'm not careful, I'll be scouting out the high school football team again. Oops. Did I say that out loud?
What?
Ow! What's with you?
Try to remember that.
Listen, Miss Thing. You're in no position to judge.
I'm not judging. I'm helping.
Right.
By smacking you.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. Smack.
So, you're here too, huh?
Did that
To
hit?
be honest, Bree's cooking was the deciding factor for me. But I prefer to look at it like this. He came, he sewed, he croaked. In that order. It's also morbid. I think it's high time the rest of us get back to living it up.
That's one way of looking at
There's
it.
a whole world of things we could be doing right now instead of sitting around crying into our drinks.
Like what?
Personally, I think we should forget the grieving process and try to get to the bottom of Daniel's murder. If you ask me, I think that brother of his is to blame. He's always acting so weird. Mind you, he's not Zach Young weird, but give him some time, and they'll be fighting for the Wisteria Lane weirdo crown.
That's a very rude thing to say.
You don't know any more than I do. I'll bet Frank's the kind of sicko that actually enjoys playing Little Mr. Innocent, while everyone else is running around town looking for the real killers.
That's
Whatever.
it.
Hey!
Pow! This was destroying Frank, the people that like Daniel. You're looking for them.
Well, I just... Well, you should have said that in the first place.
I think you've said more than enough. I'm done with this. Nonsense. I think I'll go for 4 episodes today because I'm already past an hour. And I want to get to the bottom of this. I will get to the bottom of this.
Hey, you. We haven't talked in a while. What's new?
Weren't we just talking back there? Whatever. Daniel was killed.
That said, he was my neighbor, and I was hoping he'd be my friend. It's an awful tragedy.
Whoa! Knocking stuff down. Whoops. That's why I'm helping you. That's why I'm here. You can help. I'm trying to help the police with their investigation.
I think we're a bit old for the whole detective thing, but go ahead. What do you need? I'm not sure I can help you with anything, but let's give it a try.
Who knows? Maybe we both can help. What's the problem?
Oh, he came out of nowhere. Inside talking with a stranger sitting inside a parked car outside your house the night Daniel was killed.
Listen, I don't know what your eyewitness was smoking, but Lynette barely has enough energy to lift herself into bed at night, let alone chat with some stranger.
Yeah, this is a little bizarre anyway. I was asleep by 9 o'clock that night. Who thinks they saw me? It's crazy.
You're changing the subject, Lynette. This game spreading rumors
You
about
know,
my wife.
I've heard some things about your son. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he sounds like nothing but trouble.
Whoa, everyone calm down. I was in bed by 9 that night, so it obviously wasn't me your son saw. Where was this car?
just a few feet from your house, you probably assumed it was you.
Yeah, hope he's not spreading these little assumptions any further than you. You know, to be fair, I do remember something strange from that night.
Not me. I was sound asleep.
Yeah, my little watchdog here. Wouldn't wake up if a tornado ripped the roof off the house.
I sleep soundly. Is that a crime?
Anyway, Tom was fast asleep. Some noise had woken me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah, she's like that. Her mind's always racing. Needs a horse tranquilizer to get her back to bed. But maybe we should get back to helping out with this case. So, what do you remember that night?
I was looking for something to read to help me fall asleep, and I thought I left it on the windowsill. When I looked, there wasn't any magazine, but I saw Gabby on the sidewalk.
What was she doing out that late?
She was running around the neighborhood.
Are you telling me that Gabby was running errands at midnight? And decided to stop and have a conversation with a stranger?
No, Tom, she was literally running in her very tight pink jogging outfit. You know, the one you're always staring at.
Of course. That makes sense now. Gabby was flirting with some guy. It's actually pretty funny that anyone would think you were flirting with someone.
Tom, what are you implying?
You just don't flirt. Well, often. You don't flirt often.
Now that I'm a mother, am I supposed to be asexual now? Is it out of the realm of possibility that I might flirt with a man, and that a man might find me to be attractive? Okay, I don't mean to be rude, but Tom and I have a few things to discuss.
You clarify some things. Thanks for the info. Teleport engage! We have to have some words.
So, tell me, did you find out anything new about Daniel's case?
'Cause I did hear about something that might be of interest to you.
What's up?
What happened that night, did you? Then it said she saw you out that night.
I told you I went out running that night, didn't I?
You were chatting with some stranger in a black car.
Gabby, what is she talking about? Just what were you up to that night?
I don't know. There was some guy.
Some guy?
No, wait. Two guys, actually. They were really confused.
Did either of these guys have a name?
Of course they had names. The one that talked with me in the passenger seat. His name started with an L, but I can't remember what it was. Well, they did freak me out at first, but he was just asking for direction. It was pathetic. The guy tried to flirt with me. I mean, come on. He was driving last year's model. Did he think I'd even give the time of day to a guy in a car like that?
Whoa, back up, Gabby. Who was this guy? Why was he flirting with you?
Carlos. It's not technically flirting if it's one-sided. And trust me, this was one-sided. I was just being nice. Besides, I don't usually fall for the kind of guys you see on the FIB's most wanted list.
FIB?
Unless you were on it, sweetie.
Gosh, thanks. I guess.
It's all out in the open.
What exactly do you want to know?
Tell us exactly what happened that night, Gabby. Everything. Then our friend here can find out what she needs to know and do her little detective thing somewhere else.
Little detective
Right.
thing?
Well, I was out running and... that was it. See? You were all getting excited over what turned out to be nothing. These guys got lost. They pulled over and I gave them directions. And then they went off on their merry little... Sorry. No clues.
Just out of curiosity, where were they going?
Oh, they wanted directions to the Fox house.
They what?
They what?
My God. Gabby, how is it that this is the first time we've all heard about this?
Come on. I mean, what's the big deal? They were lost, and I was just trying to be helpful.
Well, you sure picked a wonderful time to start. Do you have any idea what this means? You're an accessory to murder, Gabby, and you withheld information from the police. Hell, I could be violating parole just for being They could throw me back in jail. Is that what you want?
How would I have known what they were up to? I don't see what the problem is. I mean, they would have found the house sooner or later. He's in the phone book, you know. Like, are they the worst criminals you've ever heard of? Having to ask directions to a hit. It's just pathetic.
I think you should take a deep breath and listen to what you're saying. All right, just forget it. I don't want to hear any more from you. You've done enough. At least we have a better idea of what went down that night. And lucky you. You managed to get an eyewitness that found a way to help facilitate the murder, but somehow can't remember the name of the killer who tried to hit on her.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'll say one thing, though. She sure is taking her time.
Okay, I'm back. This is for you.
How does this help?
It's the guy's phone number from that night.
You kept his number?
Now I remember. His name was Leonard, but my friends call me Leo. Yeah, didn't do much for me when he said it either.
What reason could you possibly have to keep his number?
Relax, Carlos. I put it in my pocket and just forgot about it since then. Like you'd expect me to wear the same hoodie twice?
Well, it's very convenient, isn't it?
I got some calls to make. Call the mystery number on your phone.
Hello?
Hey, who is this?
What?
I asked who I was speaking
Okay,
to.
where do I talk into? Hey, Vinny, what am I supposed to do? How does this work? Jesus Christ, are you a moron? You talk into the phone and say something like, leave a message after the beep. Or Big Sammy sleeps with the fishes. Your choice. Hey, what are you doing? You're recording right now. You gotta start over. I don't want my voice on your stupid answering machine.
This is Vincent.
I have a question I need to ask you.
Shoot.
Can you tell me about Daniel Fox?
I don't know what you're looking for. I was as upset as anyone else when I heard about his untimely passing. It was an absolute tragedy. Poor preening bastard was doing so much for the community.
Daniel was doing a lot of good around here.
I'm not the right guy to ask about that. If you're looking for answers or closure, the police are still in. I'm sure they're doing everything they can to find out who's behind Fox's death.
I think they're on the wrong trail.
What makes you say that?
Someone else was on the stair night. That option. Apparently an associate of yours. His name is Leonard. Does that ring a bell? His friends call him Leo.
Sorry, name doesn't ring a bell. How does this relate to me exactly? I mean, I do business with a lot of people. It's always possible that I met him at some point. You know, it's funny. You wouldn't believe how many people there are running around saying they're friends with Vincent Corsetti. On any given day, a man in my position may meet dozens of people. I can't be expected to remember everyone I've met. Give me a break.
I heard you talking on his outgoing answering machine message.
Oh, right. That Leo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe I know who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, Leo. I think he works at the pharmaceutical office. We have a lot of employees, though. I don't know them all by name.
Found himself at a murder scene on my street.
Listen, I understand how difficult it must be for you. You miss your friend and you're trying to find answers. But you're barking up the wrong tree here. I'm sure if you just give it some time, you'll find out that there are better days coming your way. One thing I've found in my years of doing business is people usually get what's coming to them.
Yeah, what comes around goes around. People get what they deserve.
Listen, I'd love to keep talking to you, but I've got an important business call on the other line. I've gotta go, but let's talk later. We have a lot to talk about. Goodbye for now.
We can continue this conversation another time.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm answering my phone.
Look, this is not a game.
You're the one that called me.
You shouldn't be speaking with Vincent.
What makes you think it's any of your business who I talk to?
In my job, I sometimes have to observe certain members of the community, and I became aware of your recent contact with Vincent.
Well, I called them like 3 seconds ago, dude.
Don't worry. It's not you that we're investigating.
He's snooping on me.
I really shouldn't be telling you this. It's classified. But it's for your own good. Vincent is being monitored by the government. His calls, his business dealings, everything. And from what I gather, you don't even... Actually, we shouldn't be having this conversation over the phone. You never know who's listening.
Trouble you're making for me, this had better be pretty
I
darn
have to
important.
take care of some things. But whenever you're ready to meet in person, call me back. My time is valuable. But so is what I have to tell you.
Fine. Bye. Strange stranger.